Nervous times then down on the dummy grid now, as it's time for the Honda Cadet B final. We'll have around about 18 runners, although there will be one or two that aren't going to make it through, make it to the grid, unfortunately, for one reason or another. Max Greatrex will start from P1 alongside Jack Collinson. Max Williams and Max Wheatley are on row 2. Harris Alley and Cameron Tipping on row 3. Then we're going to have Mason Webster alongside Freddie Housigo, Rio Warderley and Alfie Forrester complete the top 10. Jensen Mablethorpe and Max Lewis are on row number 6. Row 7 sees James Winstanley alongside Isaac Huburn. Joshua Owen will start 15th. Max Gilman is shown as 16th, but he won't start there because he's not here anymore, unfortunately. Scarlett Percox and Max Housigo are on row number 9. So Max Gilman had an incident at the start of the day. The cart now beyond repair. He's okay though and watching from back home, so we wish him all the very best. Wait then for the Honda Cadet B. Final lady there with the tools in hand is Angie North. What she's doing is waiting for those unfortunate runners in Honda Cadet B that don't make it through to the A final, so she can remove the transponders from the back of their seats. And the man to the left looks like he's got the wheel gun. That would be to check the barcodes on the tyres to make sure everybody's running the tyres that they should be doing, so that we don't have any cheating going on, we don't want any of that. So Honda Cadet now, they're going to have their B final. So drivers that have either not had the luck of the draw throughout the day, and as we see most of them, we saw Max Wheatley was in there as well. Max Greatrex is going off pole, so he hasn't finished one of his heats because we saw him unfortunately in the wall on the outside of the final corner. Max Wheatley, he's been up and over the top of Ralphie Branscombe. Don't know. So Branscombe might, I think, have just snuck into the A final, despite the fact that he didn't finish one of them races, but did have two very, very strong heats at the start of the day, which might have been enough just to pop him in there in the tail end of the A final. So we'll have the grid for that at the end of this one, although the top 20 will already be set in stone for their points as well at the start of this meeting. So I'll have a quick look at see whether we've got an A final grid. We do. No, I'm just going to have a quick look. Yeah, Ralphie Branscombe has managed to get in there. His two very, very strong heats have seen him. He'll go off P12, despite the fact that he didn't finish one of his heats. So he's going to start in 12th place in that one with alongside Bobby Pete on row number 6. We've got some other big names in there as well. Harris Roberts is going to go off pole position alongside Thomas Potter. That's going to be a very, very entertaining front row for those two drivers. And James Fabricius is going to go off 9th. Now, he's had two really strong results, and then that one where he was finished, he will still have picked up some points because he finished like 3/4 of the race. But there was that one where on the final lap he was stuck on the I'm not sure whether it was his own front bumper or somebody else's, but either way, the rear end of his cart was not where it needed to be, and that was on the ground. So cart's down there in the holding area, just making sure everybody is good to go. One of the carts is still up on the trolley. I'm not sure whether anybody there's expecting a little sprinkling of rain, but I need to get that cart down on the floor now. There was a slight bit of admin to be done with this B final, just making sure everybody that's in it knows that they're in it, because the timing was set up a little bit so it was putting people straight through to the A final out of the top 30, when it's actually only the top 20 go automatically through into that A final. The remaining 20 from 21 all the way further down go into this B final. We'll see how this one goes then, because only the top 10 are going to go through. The remaining drivers will sadly take no further part in the race day. This is technically our first final of the day, although as it's a B final, there's no trophies given out for this one. We're going to then go into our Micro Max final, then into Mini Max, then we'll have a short break before we go to JKC. Then we'll go into our JKC Rotax, then we'll go JKC Pro Kart, and then our Honda Cadet A final. Looks like we've got a bit of noise, and a bit of noise normally means that things are going, although having a quick look out the window, everything seems to still be very, very stationary. So I'm guessing that we've got a bit of retrieval to be done out there on track, as we have a quick look. That's some Micro Max drivers. So they're going to go out. That's going to be the first main final of the day. So they're not in the dummy area. They're in the holding area, which is 2 areas here at Whilton Mill. There's a dummy grid and a holding area. So they'll be getting themselves ready. So looks like that's Caden Simpson on the left, Riley Buckton Young on the right, as the few of our drivers sample the wares of the Whilton Mill Cafe and have a view out over the circuit from the raised viewing area here at Whilton Mill. A couple of our Honda Cadet drivers there. You can just about see them underneath the barrier. And that's Rafi Branscombe walking across the screen. And don't know if anybody's told Stanley Clark that it's not very warm out there, but he's currently tackling what looks like a white Magnum. Tucking into an ice cream up there, but it's certainly not the warmest of days we've had here at Whilton Mill, despite the fact that the bottom of our screen says it's 10 degrees and sunny. When you go outside, it's certainly not 10 degrees and it's certainly not sunny. It's the brightest thing in the commentary box is the woolly hat that our race director's got pitched to his head. Do you want to stick one on, Luke, and we'll do some talking if you want. Tell us what breed of sheep they were if you've got a clue. Some birthday balloons in the background there behind the sign for Whilton Mill. Busy day for you again, Luke, on the race director front. A couple of unfortunate stoppages throughout the day with 1 or 2 things, but the medical team and the marshals have acted very swiftly and have managed to get the track clear throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best things that we've got. We have our own championship paramedic, and we also have the paramedic team that supplies the track supplies. They're absolutely fantastic here at Whilton. I've never heard any complaints about these guys. They know exactly what they're doing. They're there quick and fast. They assess the driver, get him in the back of the ambulance, and the wonderful treatment centre they've got, they can work on the driver there.
So at the moment, obviously, we're waiting for the Honda Cadet B final. It looks like we've got some track clearance, or we're waiting for something that's happened out there that we haven't seen in the previous race. But whilst we're here, obviously, I say we've had a couple of incidents right there that have been dealt with swiftly. It's never a quiet day for the race director, is it, though? I mean, something's beeping now already from somebody to probably call you off to do something at some point, because in a few moments Honda Cadet B is going to get themselves out there on track. Yeah, it's always busy, and it's often a thankless task, isn't it? The race director role.
It is. You know, it's a very difficult job to get this up and running every year and every meeting, and then you just become the firing point, if you like. Everyone seems to beeline for you when something's happening on track. However, you know, you've got even though you have got eyes everywhere, you can't be in 75 different places at once, unfortunately. From where I've been stood all day, I've had a great vantage point of the track. I've covered about 3/4 of the circuit myself, operating the Gigi flags, trying to help the timing team out. So I've been pulled left, right and centre. I don't think I can be pulled anymore. But I'm sure people are going to have a go at it.
Solid team here, though, for CKC. You've obviously got Rory, your clock of the course. We've got other observers here this weekend at Whilton. And naturally, the good thing with Whilton is that we've got this, with the timing at the front there, which you can see, and then the raised viewing gantry behind. The raised viewing gantry right at the back that you can see there as well behind the pit bend. There's not much of the track you can't see other than really, Crook and Oblivion, which does sort of like disappear at some point, doesn't it, round the corner here at Whilton?
It does, yeah. I mean, I've actually been stood in that timing building all day today. I've had a fantastic tour of the track, so my spotters are my clerk of the course. There he is, Rory, waving his hand, and my driving standards observer, Jake, there. So those guys have been concentrating sort of on the final 2/3 of the circuit. I've been looking at the first third, so literally the mayhem going through Oblivion and up to Christmas, the wonderful first corner incidents, which everybody's famous for.
Lewis Goff and Jacob Dukes there. Neither of them sharing a smile between them, but looks like they'll be out for their final later on. Looks like our Honda Cadet about to go. Luke, have we still got some delays out there on the circuit as Isabella Stansmore-Wilson's running around with her camera? Any idea why we're not got the B final on just yet?
So with the timing laptop, there are only so many ports we can plug certain pieces into. So the timing system itself occupies all of the USB ports. So in order for us to print grids, to publicise things like that, we have to unplug everything, plug printers in, plug scanners in, plug all different pieces in to the system, so we can actually print stuff out. We can, broadcast other things. So it does take a few moments for the printers to wake up. I mean, a lot of these guys, for some reason, it couldn't publicise them online, so we've had to do them all manually. And the grid marshal, unfortunately, had to run around with my phone going, "No, you're not there, you're there." So poor old Jacob's had a right good old 5 minutes trying to get these sorted.
A proper control alt and delete moment.
It definitely is one of those control alt delete moments.
Fantastic. I'll give it about 30 seconds before somebody from Whilton Mill Cafe gets them kids off them chairs before they get too giddy up there. But we shouldn't be too far away, I don't think, from Honda Cadet B final. We're getting ourselves out on circuit. Hopefully a quiet end to the day for you, Luke.
I'm hoping so. I can tell you one thing. I'm looking forward to my bed. I mean, I took part in the parents' race last night, and I got wiped out coming up into Christmas in the final. I think it was like P8 or something like that, and it was just a glorious end to a magnificent day. My ribs are still killing me. I don't even know how to operate my hands properly. It was just an experience that I don't think you can get anywhere else in these sort of championships.
So, Luke, just before I can just hear the Hondas go out onto grid, we can see them there. Are we still running to the same sort of timetable, or are we shortening some of the finals, or are we still on target to get everything in before the end of the day?
So it is looking very challenging, but we have made the decision that all the A finals will be 10 minutes plus a lap. So the Honda Cadet B final that's going out now is staying the same at 8 minutes plus 1 lap. But the remaining finals after that will be 10 minutes plus of that.
Brilliant, Luke. Thank you very much. I'll let you go because you've got about 45 seconds to get out there while these guys get gridded up for this Honda Cadet B final. The top 10 will progress through into the main event at the end of the day, the Honda Cadet A final. Then, so they are out on circuit. So we've got 6 finals for you, including this one on the Alpha Live channel. So we've got Honda Cadet B. Then we'll go Micro Max, Mini Max, Junior Rotax, Junior Pro Car and Honda Cadet A to round out the day here at Whilton Mill. The initial schedule had us down as being Honda Cadet A at around about 5 o'clock. I think that's going to be a little bit later than that. I think it's probably going to be around about 20 past in the end by the time we get all of this sorted out. So we're going to go now Honda Cadet B. It's going to be a slightly smaller grid than what we've seen because 20 are already through into the A final, and we've got 1 or 2 drivers missing through one issue or another. We know Max Gilman is one of those because he's damaged the kart after his incident in the first race of the day has unfortunately meant that they are already back home in Rotherham, but we'll look forward to welcoming them back at the end of April for round 3 of the Cadet Kart Championship here on the Alpha Live channel. That one will be from Rowra in Cumbria. Here we go then. It's time to put yourself into the main event, boys and girls. Have a look at the digi-flag in the top right-hand corner. Max Draytrex, so still having a word with your dad. Not sure if he's got a problem with his kart down there. No, looks like we are good to go. And Max Draytrex for the 77 kart from pole position in this B final is going to take no further part unless they can get that kart moving very, very quickly and he can rejoin the back. 5 seconds to go. Red lights are on. And there is the kart facing the wrong way. We're away and racing, and the pole sitter is gone already from this race. Jack Collinson out at the front is going to look to get away, and we are cleanly round the first corner. 8 minutes plus 1 lap for this B final then here at Whilton Mill. And Jack Collinson then leading the way as they head down towards Christmas Corner for the first time. Rio Wardley there goes through, and there's a little bit of contact there. Looked like that could have been with Alfie Forrester. We'll confirm the number when they come round. I think it is in the white and blue machine. Remember, we're not really looking for the winner of this one, although that will put them higher up when it comes to a grid position in the A final. But the winner of this one will start 21st. Second place starts 22nd, all the way back down into 30th. But the one we're looking for in terms of an F1 style cut-off, as we see Harris Ali trying to get through there, is in that drop zone. P10. P10's not where you want to be because you're in danger of not making it through into the A final. 8 minutes plus 1 lap, then they come over the line for the first time. And your top 10, Collinson, Williams, Wheatley, Ali, Howsigo, Tipping, Mablethorpe, Webster, Wardley and Forrester in front of Maximus Lewis, Joshua Roy, Max Howsigo, Isaac Huburn, Scarlett Percox and James Winstanley. as Mason Webster there goes down the inside of the 87 of Cameron Tipping. Fantastic move down the inside by Webster. The youngster from Ossett in West Yorkshire goes down the inside at Christmas Corner, and now we're going to be too wide, I think, between Housigo and Webster's going to try and get down the inside of them. The 52 there of Jensen Mablethorpe. Balks Housigo. Webster's going to try and get down the inside. Good racing in the middle pack here, but they want to not be worried of backing themselves up into the rest of the pack, as they they need to stay inside that top 10. The top 4 though, they appear to have gone off into the distance. Collinson, Williams, Wheatley and Alley. And now Collinson is coming under pressure from the 24 of Max Williams down there towards Christmas Corner. And this is the one where you really have to be careful not to. Mason Webster has actually got past now Freddie Housigo. There's a couple. Rio Wardley gets through there as well. Alfie Forrester, the driver, in danger in 10th place. He's got Max Lewis right behind him. This is the battle that we are really, really looking at here, because there's a lot of drivers there that would potentially, at the start of the day, expected to be in that A final, that are now struggling to even make the main show at the end of the day. Max Lewis right on the back there of Alfie Forrester. He ended the last race that he was out in, unfortunately, in the wall on the outside of the pit bend. Forrester's going to try and go down the inside there of Housigo. Is he into the final corner? He is, and through he goes. And Freddie Housigo is also going to run wide. Max Lewis to the inside, and through he goes. Into the top 10 goes Max Lewis. Up into 10th. Housigo drops down into 11th with the 69 machine, as the battle for the lead now sees Max Wheatley right on the back of Max Williams, who's struggling to get past Jack Collinson. And now it's going to be a 3-kart battle for the lead. Harris Alley not too far behind. There he is, coming through shot. 1.7 off the lead on the previous lap. I reckon that could be down to nearer a second off the battle if these three carry on. Collinson now leading the way from Max Williams. Williams comes to the inside. That's more of a defensive move to stop Max Wheatley coming through than it was as an overtake on Collinson round into that complex of corners. The top 3 then, still nose to tail. Half race distance in terms of time. He is there or thereabouts at 8 minutes plus 1 lap. So we will obviously have that extra lap at the end. So probably by the time they come round the next time, that'll be where we're at. But we are still nose to tail, the top 3 leading the way. Harris Alley actually falling back ever so slightly, but he's in a comfortable 4th place. So he doesn't want to be too far. Doesn't want to be dropping too far back, but doesn't need to push and really take too much out of the tyres here, because in the CKC and JKC series, you're only allowed 2 sets of slicks and 2 sets of wets for the entire season. So you don't. Every driver that goes into the B final are doing 1 extra race on those tyres. He doesn't want to take too much out of them, because he's got another race coming up at the end of the day. Is Harris Alley, if he can stay inside the top 10. 3.5 minutes remaining then. Freddie Housigo and Max Housigo. An intense battle this is going to be for the final position as it stands in this Honda Cadet final. The 2 brothers battling it out. One of them could be going through, one of them could be going home, although the sad thing is he's going to have to stick around and watch his brother in the final if this stays as it is at the moment. Which one's it going to be? Because Freddie Housigo at the moment leading the way in terms of the position between the 2 of them. As now, Max is going to go to the inside as he notes. Slots back in. Looks like he was carrying more speed, though, round the crook corner. Looked like he was going to try and put one down the inside. He's going to try and do the cutback move into the down the hill towards Ashby's. So we've got 2 brothers racing, and I'm sure as they continue their race career, their fame is going to increase. But if there's any other brothers that you know of, I think I'm going to throw the Brundles in there to start with, but if there's any more that you know of, drop them in as well. I've got another one to go at, but I'm going to see if anybody gets there first. So drop some racing brothers or racing families, brothers, sisters, mums, dads, or whatever in there as well, and we'll see if we can build up a bit of collage of family racers. As Max looked like he'd got a good run there on Freddie into that corner, but then did have to back out once again around that final pit bend. Now he's close enough this time, and Freddie has a look over his shoulder, but Max elects not to pop out into that corner. So Freddie Housigo, the older of the 2, the 11-year-old, the other one, Max, he's 10. Both of them obviously hailing from Greater Stonebridge in Cambridge. When I say obviously, I mean they live in the same place, what with them being brothers and all. So I didn't expect you all to know that they were from Cambridge, but they are now battling it out for the final position in this A final here at Whilton Mill. And is there anything Max can do? I'm certainly expecting them to see a move at some point in the next couple of laps. Maybe he just doesn't want to show his hand a little too soon. But what a fantastic battle this is going to be as Max takes a bit of a tighter line round the final corner. He's got to try and get close enough this time to Freddie to line it up towards Christmas. So he's not as close as he was in the last lap, but it looks like he is going to try and get track position down the inside, but slots back in for the trip round Christmas corner. The top three then still Collinson, Williams and Wheatley. The three of them split by 7 tenths or 8 tenths of a second, and just seem to be driving comfortably away from the rest of the pack as it stands at the moment, but doing enough that they're going to get themselves into the A final in around about an hour's time. 44 seconds remaining, so they're going to get another couple of laps at this because the leaders are already through. As Freddie Housigo holds off still from Max as Harris Alley puts in his personal best of the race. He's in fourth place as Max Housigo goes wide, drops a wheel onto the grass and loses 5 or 6 kart lengths to Freddie, and now he's got work to do just to catch up onto the back of his brother, let alone get past him in this final lap of the race or so. They're going to get 2 full laps because the leaders are down the other end of the circuit. They're not going to get through there before the time elapses, so they'll be through in a few moments when this elapses to go into the final lap. But now Max Housigo has got work to do just to catch up on the back of Freddie to give himself half a chance on the last lap, and you can see he's already there. The speed's there from Max Housigo. The thing is, I think I think he's lacking maybe a little bit of confidence of just sticking and overtaking, but the speed from Max, he's certainly got the edge, certainly round this Whilton Mill circuit on Freddie in front of him, but Freddie defending well and Max unable to make a move stick. Last lap board is out as they go into the boot section for the penultimate time. Max runs slightly wide again, but not wide enough this time, right on his rear bumper. Showdown time here then between Freddie and Max Housigo as they go onto the last lap in 10th and 11th place respectively. The driver that finishes in 10th is going to go into the A final. They run up towards Christmas corner and Max has come to the inside. Freddie's going to defend. Max slots back into position. Thought he might have just sent that one straight down the inside there, but had to slot back in. Another opportunity coming up as they run down into Ashby. Still nose to tail then between Freddie and Max Housigo. Half a lap for one of them to get through into the A final. The check is already out, but we're going to stick with this one because this is where we want to see who's going to make it through. Williams has won then from Collinson. He's got through in the tail end of the race. Max Wheatley and Harris Alley, they're through into the A final as well. Jensen Mablethorpe, the novice, he's through into the A final. Let's watch them round the final couple of corners. Max Housigo down the inside, gets the door closed on him, and Freddie's going through into the final. Max Housigo is not going to make it.